All right, welcome back here on a Wednesday night. As promised, our State House insiders are with us. Antoine Seawright, Dave Wilson. Guys, yesterday, final touches, final approval of the budget, at least by lawmakers. It seems like everybody's getting everything what they want. Teachers getting raises, state employees getting raises, bonuses as well, new voting machines, also $50 rebate checks sent back to the voters. All of this headed to the governor now.
It helps to have an extra $1 billion that's coming into the state coffers. That's one. Second of all, the governor will have it now, and this is where he will pull out his red pen, and that line item veto, he'll start going through and saying, I agree with this, I don't agree with this, and that will bring lawmakers back probably next week, maybe even the following.
I think overall Democrats and Republicans were able to agree on certain things to get what they want. I think the bottom line is we took care of two I think key constituencies in this state, and that's teachers and state employees. I think there's definitely more work to be done in trying to flush out some of these things. The thing I was disappointed in the budget is the $50 rebate. That's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to mail back the mail out the $50 rebate. But whatever, that's what the Republicans want to do to hoodwink their constituency. Right ahead.
We've always talked about the fact that it always helps to have extra dollars in the paycheck.
I want to move on to another subject making headlines still. That's abortion bills across the country. Here in South Carolina, the fetal heartbeat bill did not pass this year. Going to be a big topic come next year.
It will, and it'll be a waste of time. And even if the Republicans fold and pass a legislation that we know what will benefit, will mean lawsuits, it will be just checking a political box. It's very unfortunate. The governor sent signals that he will sign the bill. My hope is that in the Senate will be the defense to kill the bill and not let it see the light of day.
This is one of those places where the argument comes down to it's a woman's right to choose, but it's also a child's life that's in, when we were in our mother's wombs, we were males inside a female. That are two separate people with two separate sets of DNA, and that's where the argument point really boils down.
You know where the argument point boils down to? Is what I said last week, and although Dave did not agree, most people, Republicans, came out after the Alabama bill and said, you know what, where most people agree is rape, incest, and the life of a mother.
And we did agree on that.
Yeah,
we do agree
on that.
You
tried to argue to the point that like the Alabama bill was okay.
No, what I was saying was the Alabama bill sets it up to go to the Supreme Court, which is what they're wanting to be able to do.
Argued that the Alabama bill was okay. So the person
no, I never said it was okay.
The person who's doing the raping would serve, the doctor would serve more time than that person, and that's crazy.
That's a long debate. There's a long debate with many issues.
That's right. We want to move on to another subject today. It was all of this and more in our nation's capital as the House Speaker accused the president of a cover-up. He quickly responded in the Rose Garden. Take a listen.
We do believe that it's important for to follow the facts. We believe that no one is above the law, including the President of the United States, and we believe that the President of the United States is engaged in a cover-up.
We've had a House investigation. We have Senate investigations. We have investigations like nobody's ever had before, and we did nothing wrong. They would have loved to have said we colluded. They would have loved it. These people were out to get us. The Republican Party and President Trump. They were out to get us. This was a one-sided, horrible thing.
Antoine, I guess my question to you is, the Mueller report concluded there was no collusion with Russia. The Attorney General said no obstruction of justice. So the question tonight is, what is the president trying to cover up?
Well, the president is trying to cover up what was redacted in the Mueller report. And you had a Republican just a few days ago who read the report, who basically said Trump needs to be impeached. And what you have is Democrats doing what the legislative branch is supposed to do, provide oversight. The president and Republicans nowadays try to conduct themselves as if Democrats can't investigate and legislate. We've seen that done. We have not read the report. Mueller needs to testify. The president, AG, needs to testify. We need to release his tax returns. And that's what Democrats are doing, trying to bring a sense of transparency to this debate.
It's really interesting because I think the Democrats are still trying to do everything they can to steer away from the fact that we've had the best economy that we've had, with the exception of the mid-50s and the late 60s. We have had the lowest number of people on unemployment in American history in the last 50 years. We are looking at a president right now who made it very clear, listen, They came to the White House today and he said, you know what, if you're not here to talk about infrastructure and the investments that need to be done, instead you want to continue on with investigations, then I'm not going to participate, which is exactly what you saw Ronald Reagan do it with Tip O'Neill. You see it with the president's prerogative, and his prerogative is this. You want to make this about investigations? I'm not going to be here for that.
Dave, your facts are off a bit. The Democrats, based on Pelosi's response and other people in the room, went to talk about infrastructure. The president came out and says he does not want to talk to the Democrats until they stop the investigations. So Donald Trump was throwing a temper tantrum while Democrats wanted to come to the table and do what the American people want.
You argue about the equal branches of government. Guess what? Donald Trump did what Barack Obama did in 2014 when he would say, I've got a pen and a phone, I can do what it is that I need to do. He set up the same type of roadblocks in 2014.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Barack Obama tried his best to work with Republicans, and you all tried to block and tackle along step of the way.
I'm going to bypass Congress where I can and where I have to because they're not working.
You're being so hypocritical right now. That's what Donald Trump is doing since he's taken office.
Donald Trump has said, listen, if you want to stop doing these investigations and quit, because
why should Democrats stop providing oversight what the legislative branch is supposed to do?
Because the legislative branch, what's the other duty of the legislative branch?
To pass
develop
bills.
Legislation,
they have
including Schumer and Pelosi both complain about the fact that they said the president had no infrastructure plan in place.
Can we have an hour show so I can remind? So I can remind Dave all the bills that come out of the House, like gun reform, like health care, like opening up the government, like the LGBTQ Equality Act, all those things that's come from the House while they're doing investigation, because it would take a while to refresh the button for my friend.
We only have seconds left. Is this going to lead to impeachment in the House?
I think it's too early to tell. I do think the more the president instructs people not to show up, I think he's going to put a real strain on the legislative process.
Nancy Pelosi put the brakes on it in her caucus this morning, and I think she'll continue to do so for a while at least.
All right, guys. Antoine, Dave, guys, as always, thank you so very much.